Welcome to this week's Future Toolbox podcast. We explore the Z to A of life skills, where each letter stands for a topic and essential tool to help you get ahead in life. Meet Jules and Mark, creators of the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox, and enjoy their straightforward approach to creating growth mindsets that help people turn their dreams into realities. Whether you're a teen in education, a parent, a teacher, or part of a community group, start creating positive habits from today.
Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Z2A podcast with me, Mark, and Jules from the multi-award winning Future Toolbox.
Hello and welcome.
Now this is where we pick a letter and a topic and we discuss how you can use our tools to improve your own personal development and life. So what is this week's letter?
Well, this week we have chosen the letter P, which stands for passion, and we're going to discover your path to happiness through passion.
Oh, P for passion. That sounds really exciting. So what does passion actually mean?
Well, there's loads of different ways of describing it, but I think this day and age, because everything's so fast-paced, it's really easy to lose sight of what truly does bring us joy and satisfaction. We get caught up in our daily routines, our responsibilities, and it kind of leaves us a little bit of time just to focus on ourselves, on our own happiness. But by finding and nurturing our passions, we can unlock genuine fulfillment and create a truly meaningful life, which is what life is all about. And what we've been doing is learning to live life on our terms, isn't it?
Yeah, passion, it's a real powerful force that drives us to pursue our dreams. And when we're passionate about something, we become fully engaged in the present moment.
That's a brilliant explanation of what passion is all about. And we found ours when we first started working in post-16 education, didn't we? And that's when we realised that our kind of vocation, the thing that we really got the most out of, was helping other people, whether that be starting their new job, giving them new skills to be able to do that, getting them through qualifications, preparing them for the interviews. But that started our passion for beginning the Future Toolbox, didn't it?
Yeah, I remember sitting there on the beach that day and we were talking about how we could run our own company around personal development for people and how we could live life on our own terms. And that was the catalyst really for the business idea starting, I guess.
Yeah, so when we were putting our blog together for this week, we were looking at ways to find your passion. Sometimes you might not realise what your passions are. So how do you find what you're passionate about?
Yeah, so step one we put down was explore your interests. And I guess that's what we've just talked about, that moment on the beach. We were talking about how we could set up a business where we helped people, but we didn't just have that only passion. We had quite a lot of other things that we were really, really keen on. Obviously travel, because we were sitting on the beach at that time.
Travel's always been a big passion of ours.
Absolutely love it. Love exploring places. We're also obviously very, very keen on fitness, running and going to the gym and all those sorts of things as well.
Eating wonderful food. I love cooking.
Eating wonderful food and wonderful chocolate, of course. So, yeah, exploring your interests is looking at a way that you can incorporate as many of these things as you can into your life. And I remember seeing a quote that says, if you can find something that you're passionate about and find somebody to pay you to do that activity, then you're on a winner.
Absolutely. And there's that brilliant saying by Chris Gardner in the film The Pursuit of Happiness. And he said the secret is to find something that you love to do so much that you can't wait for the sun to rise to do it all over again.
Oh, wow. Embrace every single day. That sounds wonderful, doesn't it? So you can get up in the morning and be excited about the day. And it's a shame because we meet a lot of people that get up every morning and dread the day. And that is a real harsh situation to be in.
So I guess when you're sitting there thinking, well, what am I passionate about? How do you start to find where that is if you're not sure? So one of the great things to do is, look at something that you love doing. Notice where you spend your time each day. What do you buy? What do you spend your money on? That could be your passion. That's something that you love. So it's doing a little bit of reflection, isn't it, really, to see how you spend your time.
And sometimes people say, I'm too busy, I don't have time to do anything. So you could also slightly flip that and think, well, if I had an extra hour in the day of absolute free time, what would I do in that free time?
Yeah, this is it. Some things that you might not realize is a passion, something that you're doing is you might enjoy fixing things around the house, or you might enjoy creating or building things, and you don't actually realize that that's where your passion is. And it could be, like I said, I love cooking. I love to be able to create something and enjoy the different taste and the textures and the flavors that you can make with just simple ingredients.
And I love eating them.
Yeah, you are a lucky man.
I am very, very lucky. I'm very passionate about eating your food. And the number 2 that we put on the blog was to embrace curiosity, which
Mhm.
means basically going out, trying new things, exploring new places, and just being adventurous, I suppose. Now, since we moved here to Lanzarote, we've taken up music.
We have.
Obviously, we've loved music for years. We've been to loads of gigs, we've watched people on stage perform, and that's whether it's a musician in a bar or whether it's one of the greatest bands in the world ever. Now, I've always had this idea of wanting to actually be able to stand up on stage and sing. I've spent many years public speaking on stage and I'm totally cool with that, but I've never been comfortable with singing. So the curiosity got the better of me. I thought, when I'm in Lanzarote, for some reason it seems safer there because I don't know as many people. I can stand on stage and make a fool of myself if it doesn't go too well. But that curiosity now has led to learning to play the guitar, which again is something else that I've always been curious about, but also you taking up a little bit of drumming.
I've always wanted to play the drums. There's two musical instruments that I've been keen on playing. One's the piano, and the other one is percussion in terms of like drums. But one thing that I had no idea about, but I'm now learning to do, and it's bongos. I absolutely love the sound of the bongos.
You're so good at it as well. You picked it
Thank
up
you.
as a natural, which is really, really
I've
cool.
just got rhythm, you know. That's
You've
what it is.
got rhythm. You certainly have. Johnny Cash done a song about that, Get Rhythm, didn't he?
Oh, it's brilliant. We did that. I remember doing one of Johnny Cash's. I think that's one of the first times I was on the cajon drum when I was doing that. I loved it, absolutely loved it. And yeah, I look forward to the 2 sessions a week where we get together with a group of musicians and we have jam nights over here. And it's just the best atmosphere ever, isn't it?
I'm really excited to add to our profile, musicians.
Oh, I don't think we're yet there yet, but we're getting there. We're definitely getting there.
Now, number 3 says listen to your emotions, because when you set a goal, the why and having the emotion behind the why is such a
Mm.
powerful connection. If you really, really, really want something, then it will drive you forward to achieve it. And we've spent years studying goal setting, and we know that that is a key. I remember somebody saying, have a why that makes you cry, which always sounds really dramatic, doesn't it? But it means make you cry with emotion.
Mm.
So, yeah, put your emotion into what you're passionate about.
Yeah, if something makes your heart race with excitement, then seriously, guys, you know that that's what your passion is.
Next up, after number 3, is number.
Number 4.
Yeah, you can count as well. That's good. So, number 4 is overcoming fear and doubt. Sometimes we hear that phrase, stepping outside your comfort zone or taking risks, is a key to you actually achieving your goals.
It is, and that's where the fear comes in because it's so easy to stay inside your comfort zone and stay where you feel under no pressure or no stress. But it really is where the magic happens when you step outside that comfort zone and push yourself just that little bit more. And then once you start doing that and then doing it a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, honestly, then you see yourself soar. It's such a wonderful feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. So, obviously, I've stood on stage and sung a few songs, which was way outside my comfort zone. But you've also done that with your running.
I have taken up running again since coming here, and the last couple of weekends we've done some amazing races here. I just love it, and I have no desire to be the fastest runner on this island. What I thoroughly embraced and enjoyed is the ability to be outside, to run, to be with like-minded people, see the scenery, and just the achievement of completing that race and seeing everybody's smiling faces at the end and the congratulations and everything. It's fantastic.
And also the fact that I love running and you've got into running now, to actually see you achieve that, my passion has jumped up a little bit more within that sport, because I'm seeing you achieve things that it's like, oh my goodness, I remember doing my first races and I remember that feeling when I crossed the line. So it's sometimes bouncing off somebody else's energy as well.
It is, and for sure, overcoming fear and doubt in anything that you're trying to do in life, it is a battle. It's a mental battle, and it is your mindset. It's well worth working on yourself and challenging and making yourself do it, because you will reap the fantastic rewards, won't you?
You will. Number 5 is pursuing a balanced life. Being passionate about things that you do in your spare time is good, but you do have to strike a balance in your pursuits. I guess sometimes it's try not to take on too many things.
That's one of our downfalls. We do try sometimes, and I have to sit down and look and think, actually, we're probably trying to do too much at the moment. And it is trying to strike that balance.
Yeah, I mean, when we moved here, I said I want to do 3 things. One is learn Spanish. Number 2 was sing on stage. And number 3 is learn to play the guitar. And now all of a sudden, I've got a lot of lessons that are getting crammed into a week, on top of learning how to run a business from another country and fit into a different culture. So, yeah, I guess those 3 things could be classed as quite time consuming. But then if somebody says, oh, do you want to learn something else now? It's like, no, I haven't got the capacity to do that. So strike up a good balance. Be excited, but then be careful that you're not spending too much time and losing out on other things.
So number 6, we wrote about persistence paying off. Now, finding your passion might not happen overnight. It could take some time. And like all journeys, it's going to require perseverance. But if you haven't found your passion yet, do keep trying new things, exploring different interests. Again, don't be disheartened by initial setbacks, because sometimes things don't always go to plan. We all know that, don't we?
I want to play Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses on the
I
guitar.
want to sing it.
Yeah, I'd love to sing it as well. After a week or so of practice, I can't do that yet.
After a week, you can't do it.
I can't do it. And there's a lot of setbacks because I'm really struggling with my finger movement of changing the keys quickly. But I could easily throw the guitar on the ground and say, I'm not doing that again because it's the setback and I'm never going to do that. And this is the problem. A lot of people quit in the early days because they don't get instant success. And instant success we see all the time thrown at us. It doesn't exist.
There's no easy button.
There's no easy button. So, yeah, that's a real key, is to keep going.
It is to keep going. But the next one, number 7, and this one I think is really important, is share and connect. Now, passions are best when they're shared. So connect with other people that share similar interests to yourself. And it is about, and I think we've said this before, it's about who you surround yourself with. When preparing for this podcast and for the blog, we were talking about this, and then we suddenly realised that the amount of people that we connect with and we're friends with and we spend a lot of time with, all people that are pursuing their passions in life. They built a business around what they're passionate about.
Yeah, spot on. Back in the UK, there was some phenomenal people that we've bounced ideas off. I'm going to name drop a few people now, but the first person is our regular guest, friend and fellow director, Sally. Sally Wood.
Everyone needs a Sally.
Everyone needs a Sally, but Sally is really, really passionate about helping people like ourselves and is really, really keen on seeing people grow, because if they grow, she grows.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that.
To be fair, the list is endless. But there's people like Michelle Lewis. She's been a guest on our podcast and her passion is running. Absolutely. She is a fanatic about running, but her passion about helping people, whether they're just beginning or they're experts at running it, to be able to go that a little bit further. She loves it. So she has her own personal training business.
Yeah, and Michelle is probably one of the most excitable and energetic people we know. So what you listeners need to do is go back and listen to the podcasts with Sally on there, and especially Michelle as well. Another person who's been a great guest on ours and a regular is Lex Lovell, who is a mindset and NLP coach. And she's really, really keen to help people overcome their fears and anxieties and blocks in life and look at positive ways to move forward.
This is just a few people back in the UK that we surrounded ourselves with. As I said a minute ago, the list is endless. But even being here in Lanzarote, it's wonderful being around so many people pursuing their passions. For example, Pete. Pete's always wanted to be a musician.
The PTF fan club. We're in the PTF fan club, aren't we?
We started the PTF fan club. So PTF stands for Pete Tilbury Fowler.
That's his name.
Which is his name. He is playing in different places all around the island and following his dream to be a rock star.
He is a rock star, rock god. While we're name dropping people on the island, I want to mention our good mate Stacey, who runs the Ministry of Fitness, and she has a real passion for helping people keep moving, get fit, and enjoy workouts overlooking the ocean, which is amazing, isn't it?
It is, and yes, she's built up a fabulous following here on the island and online as well.
Yeah. Again, it's getting a group of people together that share a common interest in keeping fit, keeping active, and then that's spun off into some really, really great friendships as well. One more name drop from a previous guest in the UK, Bob Allen, who's an osteopath, and he's really, really keen about helping people with their movement and mobility, flexibility and stretching, by just employing some simple exercises each day. So again, a very, very different level of exercise, but a real passion that somebody's put into their own business.
And the last one in our blog was about embracing growth and change. So as you discover your passions, do remember that they can evolve and they can change over time. If you think of where we started with our business to where we are now, how different is it?
Yeah, it's amazing how we've grown and changed over the years. So we started off working for a company, helping people get their first jobs and then training them on apprenticeships. That evolved into public speaking in schools, which evolved into becoming authors, which also then evolved into recording podcasts and then moving to a different country and running a business from here.
It's great.
And
that's it. You have to be prepared that things will change and things will grow, because once you start getting outside that comfort zone and following your passions, new opportunities will be there. And I'm a great believer of things are put in your path for you to have a go at, and do it. Explore these opportunities. Be open to reevaluating your passions and adapting as you grow, because we've had to do an awful lot of adapting as we've moved through this journey with the Future Toolbox. But I don't regret 1 second of it. And there's one last little quote that I just want to share with you. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one that you are capable of living. That was said by Nelson Mandela. And it's absolutely true. Don't settle for a life that is less than the one that you are capable of living. So really, it's about going out there and grabbing life.
That is probably the best way of ending this week's podcast with such a powerful quote. I love that. Life is there to be grabbed. We need to make the most of this time that we have. So we can share some more tools with you if you go to our website, futuretoolbox.co.uk. We're also on social media. You can go to our Facebook, Instagram or TikTok. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on LinkedIn, because we are
everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere, of course. But also a favour for you, our listeners, if you could share this podcast with somebody and help get our reach out there, share the love, share the passion.
Share the passion.
And also give us a nice 5-star rating or 10-star on the platform that you're listening to this on. However many stars, just tick the maximum box. We'd love that. And that helps our reach get out there. We look forward to catching you all next week.
Bye for now.
See you later.
Thank you for joining us for the Z2A of Life Skills with Jules and Mark of the Future Toolbox. Don't forget to head over to their website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk, where you can find lots of free resources, plus a host of books in the store, as well as subscribing to the membership site. Follow Future Toolbox Instagram, TikTok and Facebook at Future Toolbox, and subscribe to their YouTube channel too.